character, which is also his real name in real life. So he literally wrestled by his real name.
Who is?
He's from DC.
Daddy, who's that? Daddy, I know who this is, but who is this? Daddy, I want to know if you know who this is.
Rocket.
How do you know? What is this guy?
Rocket.
Yeah, man. Wasp.
Yep.
Oh, what? I'm live? What?
You're still live?
Zoom's live now. I didn't know I was live. That's funny.
Flip it over.
I was like, what? Now I see it.
I am good.
Of course, it has like the Zoom logo on
What's
it.
his name? We'll never even figure out his name, dude.
What?
Rondo? Isn't it Rondo or
Rajon Rondo?
Rondo.
No, hold on.
I'm live. What? Mute. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. I love how it just goes live without me realizing. This is what happens when you use something for the first time.
Daddy,
Invite.
who is?
More Star-Lord group. Rocket Drax.
Drax. Daddy, you never answered this question. Who is this?
Hold on.
Spider-Man.
This?
Hold on. Let me get Ron on here. I'm losing my audience. This is what happens when Facebook decides it's going to go live. There we go.
Well, who is this?
Oh, I just told you his name.
What?
Star-Lord.
Starwood?
Yeah, Star-Lord.
Starwood.
There we go.
Daddy, did somebody?
I think he's live.
I am, dude. I've been live the whole time.
All right. Well.
Did you not believe me when I said I was live?
I did, but
Oh, okay.
Set up, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'll just wait for Ron.
All right, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's reversed image. Admit Ron. Can I fix the reverse image? I'm learning Zoom. There we go.
There we go.
Says can't hear you yet. Okay, connecting to audio. See if it works. Perfect. We got Ron.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. What's up, brother?
What's up with you, man?
Not much, not much. Just chilling. How about you?
Enjoying retirement?
Enjoying retirement. You got a pair of headphones for all from me?
Oh.
Yeah, let me do that real quick.
I'm Joey. I got you.
Because I don't know if I want it. I don't know if it's playing Ron's audio or not. Actually, yeah, because like the way this is working. Okay. Sorry, Ron. I'm still figuring out Zoom, man. This is all new to me.
It's all new to me too. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go get my robe.
You gotta get your robe? Okay, go get your robe. I'm just trying to figure out how this works.
I think if you put headphones in, you're not gonna hear him at all, right?
Maybe. Go in the room and watch it real quick and tell me. I just want to make sure it's not like echoing or something like that. You know what I mean? Let's see how I get Ron on the screen with me. Yeah, it's a lot of testing. I was trying to do a live test with you, but Facebook be like, nah, you live now.
So you going live on Facebook with Zoom?
Hold on. See if it's gonna work. Yeah, it's not coming through at all. All right, let's go about that. All right, Ron.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I was just testing the audio. So, Ron.
What's up, man?
The question: are you really retired? Is this for real, man? Is it really over?
It's over until further notice, but it's over. So far, that's all the information I got, man. I'm retired, man. My body got to get right, for something else. Moving in a different direction as far as sports.
Gotcha. So, Ron, let's talk about your career in flag football. When did you first join? Who did you play for? And how'd you find out?
I found out about the league, I believe, the spring of 17. First year at South, whichever year that was. I came in with Survivors. I found out about the league though through my girlfriend. She and Jordan Anderson grew up together, and she got me in contact with Jordan Anderson. Jordan Anderson, from there, the rest is history.
I remember that spring of 18, actually, 2018, with Survivors. That was our last season at South. And then, we never went back to South ever again. Good times at South High.
I ain't gonna lie, I miss South.
I do too. South was, we could never get away with what we got away with at South anymore.
You never know what you're going to
get. Nowhere else. We can never get away with that.
Yeah.
That was a good welcoming year.
That was actually a legit season. Your memories playing with Survivors. How'd you first meet Daniel Taylor?
I went on the page like everybody else do. Went on the page and just threw out my resume. And Danny was one of the first people to hit me up. How he got me was, I'm big on family. You know what I'm saying? So Danny was big on family, and that's how I was able to go out there. I got to meet some real cool guys, and practice with some real cool guys, and play, games with them. And since then, me, Danny, and the rest of them guys, we all been like this.
Gotcha. So first season with Survivors, you come out, your first games against Program. You guys end up losing that game 14-0. Your thoughts and memories of your first game out there?
Hey, to be honest, my first game, it was a whole lot of talk about Cortez. It was a whole lot of talk in practice about Cortez. Mind you, I was new to the town. I was new to the league. And if you remember anything about me, my mouth never stopped running. So when I heard about Cortez, I'm like, what? He ain't shit compared to me. You know what I'm saying? I always thought I was the best. And I remember coming out that first game, and actually, I believe like the first 2 quarters was actually tight. And they took off on us. They scored. We couldn't score. We had some good plays. And from there, I always thought flag football was soft. In that first game, I felt it all in my body like, oh, no, it's not soft. This is something I can do, for plenty seasons to come. So ever since then, I love the game of flag football.
Yeah. Memories of that season, like any good stories from that first season on Survivors, any funny moments?
It's not, to be honest, it's not even with Survivors that any like great, not saying that the Survivors they were a group of great guys, you know what I'm saying? But memories that I'm gonna always remember from that season was the ADR and Mayhem rivalry and beef. That is like one of the main rivalries that's gonna always stick out to me. I remember just covering one of their games, recording one of their games, and geez, the things that were said from both sidelines, like that had me like really like, yeah, I love this game. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fuck this. Larry always Mr. Disrespectful himself. He was just out there running his mouth saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say. Dame out there saying whatever the fuck he wanted to say. Tyler Spence out there talking this shit. And even Chris Boone. Was out there talking this shit. So that game right there. If I'm not mistaken, that was the game before the playoffs, and it wasn't a battle. Let me not say that. It wasn't a battle. Mayhem got their ass handed to them, but the tension between both teams was crazy.
I remember that rivalry like it was yesterday. Whoa. You can't really call it a rivalry because it was a straight beatdown between those two teams. Yeah. But the tension was so real during those games. Like
every time they got matched up or thought they was gonna see each other at the field, anytime that day before the game, that week before the game that they played each other, it was just on the page. That was the game everybody was looking forward to, and I was right there with y'all, I was excited to see it. So I was really excited to cover it.
Yeah, I remember you called that game 46-6. What was it Boone said? Get this JV ass team off the field.
Ass team the fuck out of here.
Man.
Oh, I knew it was gonna be a great season after that. I kind of some days I'll be wishing I could just go back to that first year.
Dude, I wish I could go back to that season all the time. That's like one of the best seasons I think this league ever had. It was so incredible from start to finish.
Everybody was always
deep
lit.
League too.
Everybody was always lit. It was always fun. It was never a dull moment. From game one to the last game of the day, it was never a dull moment.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Spring 2018 was great. We'll do a retrospective show on spring of 2018 sometime down the line because a lot of good memories from that one. So after that season, Ron, you ended up leaving the Survivor. Well, Survivors folded. We actually jokingly called you the lone survivor at one point. And you moved on to the Misfits where you got acquainted with John Regan. Now, how did you and Regan first get in contact with each other?
Regan always had his eye out for talent. He always had his eye out for talent and dogs, and I guess I was just one of them dogs with the talent that he needed or wanted, So when I met up with Regan, actually my first time linking up with Regan, I went out to VA Beach with Mayhem. And I ain't gonna coming from Detroit, like that was the group of guys that caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the football, the flag football shit. So I was like, this was where I could be. I could be comfortable. I could play my game and I could talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? And feel comfortable doing it. So since then, me and Regan always been like a uncle. You know what I'm saying? An uncle to me. You know what I'm saying? A big brother. And he always showed me like the rope to the flag. Without Regan, to be honest, there wouldn't have been. I think I would have took longer to learn the game. You know what I'm saying? And really fall in love with the game.
Yeah. No. John's had a big impact on a lot of guys' careers, and I definitely saw where that season you took it up to a whole other level when you were on the Misfits. 8-1 was a record in the regular season that year. Your memories from that season that stood out to you?
Just playing with a group of great guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then watching them go on, in the future and win championships. And continue to have that great brotherhood. It was a place that, no offense to them guys, but it was a place that I couldn't be because, one, as you see, I love to play both sides of the field. I love to be on both sides of the field. And that is a team that is stacked with athletes. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's coming out there to play. And me personally, I felt like I could be doing more for another team that this team doesn't need. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like that never broke, the bond that I had with them guys over there, and they respected my move and I moved forward. But one of my best memories had to be the Ruckus game in the playoffs.
We were about to discuss that. Memories of that game. That was a stunning upset. I don't think anybody thought Ruckus had a chance of winning that game coming in. But Ruckus and Misfits played a dog fight from start to finish. That was a battle between both of those sides. Honestly, that game is why Ruckus came out so poorly in the championship. Misfits wore them out. They didn't beat the Misfits. They survived them.
Yeah. And a shout out to them guys over there at Ruckus too, man. They definitely, balled out and kept their head in the game. Anybody know when playing the Misfits or even playing against them guys that was playing on Misfits, it's no one is gonna come. They're gonna have to come out and really play. And for them guys to really, Scotty, Dustin, a few other guys, them guys came out and they played. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't take nothing away from their game.
Yeah. Big shout out to them. And that was actually where you ended up going to in the spring of 2019. That spring, you played both days, actually, Ruckus and the Killer Bees. Let's get to the Killer Bees. How did you first get on with the Bees?
Ant Smith. Me and Ant Smith, I believe Ant Smith had played out there like a season before that, maybe two.
Yeah, he actually won in the fall of 18 championship of Killer Bees.
Yeah, he used to always ask me, like, come out PA, come play out PA. But like everybody, still right now to this day, everybody used to say, that's a JV ass league. You know what I'm saying? So I was liking the fact that Washington County was a tough league. You know what I'm saying? And I just was focusing on Washington County and traveling. And, he convinced me. Long story short, he ended up convincing me. Ended up hooking me up with Eric and, the rest of them guys. The rest is history.
First season on the Bees, you guys didn't really have much of a season. It was a struggle. Memories of that season, because you guys had some pretty good players. I think you guys had Tyler on the team. You had Pat Freedom, I believe, was on the team at the time.
We had a championship caliber team as far as AFL. We had Larry, we had Ant, we had Pat, we had me. We had some dogs, like guys, like underrated guys, that Keith Giles. Like, it's these guys are like Keith Giles. He's a beast on that D line, and people really sleep on him because he's playing in the KFL. But to be honest, that guy is really tough. So yeah, like that year, that championship year, it was we had fun. We had fun that year. Especially facing that team, not Green Machine. What is they? Who was they?
Ship Flip Gators?
Ship Flip Gators.
Everyone's
my God. What? They didn't evaporate. I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared.
I think they learned 9-man wasn't quite their game. They weren't bad though. All jokes aside, they weren't a bad team. Ship Flip was pretty competitive. They played good fundamental football.
Yeah, that was the team we was always looking forward to playing with when I played with the Bees.
Yeah. No, Ship Flip definitely had something there for a bit. During that same season, you played with Ruckus. I think you had a pick in almost every game that season, if I remember correctly.
My first year at Ruckus, I believe I had 6 picks for the season. But yeah, I had to pick almost every game. My best year, to be honest, that was my best year playing flag football.
Yeah, you absolutely balled out that year, and your biggest performance, I believe, was in that playoff game against Railroaders, where you shut down Timmy Privet and kept the ball out of his hands all 7 times. Ian targeted him in that red zone.
Yep. Like my guys believed in me. You know, anytime when my guys, they tell me, that's their star receiver. That's who they're gonna throw the ball to. Ryan, you go get him. You know, and that shows me that they have faith in me. Dustin, Damian, they always have faith in me. They never they never doubted me in any position that I was in. You know what I'm saying? They always knew that I was the better player against anybody I faced. So I always knew how tough Timmy was at receiver. So I always put on my best game anytime I played him. So since that game though, anytime I played Timmy Privet, he probably had one catch over the 3 seasons since that season.
Yeah. No, you absolutely did well, especially in that playoff game. You ended up staying with Ruckus throughout 2019. I believe you were on the Spartans too during that time. Not the Don Brown ones, but the Keystone Spartans. Memories of playing with that team.
Spartans?
Yeah.
Spartans was, to be honest, I was actually thinking about quitting the KFL altogether. But again, Ant Smith convinced me to come back. He was, he played quarterback over there. I believe I had went to jail, and when I got out of jail, when I was locked up, I guess y'all had the Summer Sizzler, and he put something together with the Spartans, and obviously it was looking good, and he was trying to get more players to come play with the Spartans for the league, and obviously I was that was like my best friend, so I was going over there to try to make something happen.
Yeah, you guys you were an interesting squad because there were some good players on that Spartans team, but it was just like usual with the Spartans / current day Browns.
Yeah.
Inability to put that talent together and win with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think you guys had some studs on that team. I think you were on there. Ant was there. You had Pat was there, I believe. Like, that's a good team on paper already. You got some key personnel who can go play different positions.
Yeah.
But it was a tough KFFL. Bees were always up there. Gators were still pretty good. Misfits. And of course, that was the year of the Misfits.
So, but that's anytime you go up to the KFL, you always think it's going to be a cakewalk, because it's the KFL. But in reality, football is football. You got to come out to play. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who you're facing, and that's been what's wrong with a lot of teams that I play with. A lot of teams lack the dedication to win the game. Because they already go into the game thinking they won because of the type of league that they're playing in. You know what I'm saying? So that was part of our problem with the Spartans.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it's a shame too because I felt like the talent has always been there on that franchise, but they've just never been able to fully put it together. That same season, you're with Ruckus still. And honestly, looking back at that season, that was the downfall of Ruckus, in my opinion, was that final season where everything just kind of blew up. Your memories of that final season with Ruckus and what exactly went down in that locker room? Because I've heard rumors over the years. It just seemed like it was just hitting a boiling point, and finally it all blew up at the end of the season.
So, like I said, that summer, at the end of that summer, I had went to jail. So I only played the last 3 games, regular season games with them, plus the last playoff game. But just off of what I know from the season before, One of the biggest problems with Ruckus was the buddy ball. You know, for me, I can't speak for everybody else. But one of the biggest issues that I had with Ruckus was the buddy ball. Dustin, he does. I don't think it's necessarily that he tried to be buddy with everybody and play buddy ball, but when you run in a team, it's like you try to make everybody happy and you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody wasn't happy. And like you said, it all blew up, at the end of the season. Derek wasn't happy. He don't have the quarterback to throw him the ball like he need the ball in his hand. I was supposed to play both sides of the ball. That didn't happen. And like just pieces that should have been moved around was never moved around. And then we lost a game in the playoffs against Broadex that we shouldn't have lost. You know what I'm saying? So it all just blew up right at the end of the season.
Yeah, it was quite the downfall for Ruckus, but it allowed you to regrow somewhere else as well. As the next year, 2020 began, you entered the program.
Yeah.
But before that, you were traveling in 2019 in tournaments.
Yeah.
Memories of being with the Maryland Raiders.
Great memories. Every tournament, I linked up with guys that I never thought I'd play with, like, to be honest. And it was just fun. Like, it was just fun traveling. The DC tournament, each tournament had its own like different type of fun. You know what I'm saying? And it was all enjoyable, and it was all love. And like I said, playing with guys that you play against in the league and then having them all on one team, it was just all fun just to go out there and get that experience.
Memories of Winter Chiller with TBT.
Man, I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm still mad because I had to pick that game and they took it away from me. But that game, those two games, what, X Dogs and Bees, right? Those was two fun ass games. And to be honest, if we would have been able to have a championship day, we would have definitely been in there with either Misfits. I'm saying this because I never said this out loud, Joey. We would have been in there with either Misfits or what's that red team that played out there?
Gusterland.
Gusterland. Those were the only two teams that I seen that was going even had a chance of making it to that championship period.
Yeah. And it's a shame because we had a damn good team up in that tournament. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I remember someone said to me earlier on Facebook that, like, I don't have those guys anymore, but I'm also like, yeah, but that's just how TBT is. We pick up the best we can find and we roll with it.
Yeah.
And that team was honestly one of the most underrated TBT squads because it was electric. There was a lot of ballers in that game.
Yeah, the experience.
It was a well-rounded team.
What it was it was simply all the different experience, the different type of guys, the different type of talent all coming in and playing for one, and not. It wasn't a selfish game. Usually, like when you do teams like that, put teams together like that, it don't work, because most guys are used to being a star on their team. A lot of guys used to getting the ball more often. A lot of guys used to doing what they do on their own team. So when you putting a team together for a tournament like that, and that's willing to play for the man next to him, you're gonna have some ballers and you're gonna have a successful tournament.
100% agree. 100% agree. And hey, I appreciate the work you put in that tournament, man. I really do. Thank you for getting me that plaque.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
2020 hit. You decided to join the Cramley, roll with the program. What was your decision on there? Just good friends already there, might as well join?
No, actually, I was gonna go to the program my last season with Ruckus. We was always during the off season. We was always practicing together. Both us, Ruckus, and program, we was always practicing together. It was even a talk about merging at one point, and it just never happened. But I always had my eyes on the program. Like I said, the same field that I got from Regan and the Misfits and Mayhem was the same feeling I got from these guys. You know, somewhere I could play, be comfortable, and play my game, and look forward to a championship. I knew program was a defensive team. I'm a defensive player, so I was always playing. I couldn't wait to get on the same side of the ball with Cortez Boyce. You know, I just knew we was shutting shit down. You know, when no defense was already crazy without me. So just, you know, adding me to that defense, I knew we was shutting shit down. But just so happened, you know, Cortez decided to go on offense and you know, showcase his skills for offense too. So it was rare that you got to see both of us on the same side of the ball.
Memories of playing with the program this past year, your best ones.
Just the off season, man. To be honest, the off season was really fun. You know what I'm saying? Great memory with these guys. You know, every Sunday just going to, you know, Swole's house and, you know, getting to know more and more people that, you know, play with the team that doesn't play with the team anymore. You know, just meeting different people and, you know, creating a bond, a brotherhood, and, you know, coming out there and practicing all off season. That was one thing that I was really, you know, excited about with playing with the program. Like all off season, everybody on the team was dedicated to coming out to practice, coming out to scrimmages, you know, and just trying to get better. So once the season came out, in my mind, can't nobody stop us. You know what I'm saying? So only thing we had to do is just put up points.
That defense last season was very good. 14 points per game surrendered. And when you take out the 41 surrendered against Showtime, that's probably drops it down to about roughly 11 points per game, which tells you just how good the program's defense was. But unfortunately, offense never quite got going. And
it was bad, man. It got bad. It got bad. And to be honest, it seemed like each week our offense seems to get worse. You know, we tried different things, as you see. We tried new quarterbacks, different type of offensive styles. We just could never get nothing rolling. But you know, I was never frustrated with the offense because I didn't play offense. You know, I play defense. I let them guys on offense figure that out. I let Swole, you know, as the owner of the team, you know, get it together.
So what exactly happened with program in this final season? Because you talk about a very strong bond and brotherhood and all this. You mentioned how the off season was great and how much you enjoyed it. But at the end of the season, we got the news really abruptly after the Spartans game that program was over, just like that. What happened in this final season that led to that from your perspective? Like what happened in your eyes?
I think it was a lot of us had, you know, expectations that wasn't met. You know what I'm saying? As far as like winning, you know, and executing. You know what I'm saying? And when games that we should have won, games that we should not have let teams score, games that we should have scored more, it just built up, and I think Swole just feels like it's time to revamp, you know what I'm saying, and try something different. If I wasn't retiring and program was coming back, I definitely would be with program.
Program wasn't your only team in 2020. You decided to continue your KFFL career, this time with the Reckless Villains. So how did that come about?
To be honest, TJ, his first game with us, who did we play? We played Spartans, I believe. We played the Spartans. And he announced right after the game that he was putting the team into the KFL, and he wanted a few guys to come play with him. And when he showed me the roster, not the roster, I'm lying. When he added me to the group chat, and I seen the guys that was going to play, I was like, this could actually be a good team. So going out there, it was fun. It was fun to even meet up with them guys every Sunday and play the game.
Yeah. First game you guys came out against #Team Blunt Talk. That game, Ross. Your memories of that game and the upset that was?
I was so excited. I was excited. I was more excited to be able to talk shit to Ross. I was excited. It was nothing against. I don't have nothing against Ross. I just love getting under his skin. I love to see him turn red a little bit. But no, seriously though. But that game was actually a surprise to me. Not that I thought we was gonna lose, but I didn't think that we was gonna donut you guys.
Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen either.
Because mind you, me and you was just on the sideline, talking about how y'all wasn't letting nobody. Your goal was not letting nobody score on y'all for the whole season.
Yeah, no, that was an aspiration I had, and 3 games in, it looked pretty good, and then the Villains was a bit of a wake-up call. Honestly, you all gave us the best bump in KFFL all season, man. You guys really did. Like, it's a shame that you all didn't get a chance to play us in the playoffs again. I think a third time would have been amazing. Memories of that second game against us where it was 32-31, that epic game that went down in Keystone, probably the greatest game in KFFL history.
Man, that game was the shit. That was the best game ever played in KFL history. I don't care.
Gotta give a quick shout out on my end though to the Reckless Villains.
Yeah, that game was the best game ever played. That game beats the first game. That game beats any game. That game beat any championship game that was played in the KFL. I loved it from the beginning to the end. Without a kicker though, y'all lose that game. So it's
Chris Boone finds Polo in the end zone one more time.
It's always like without this or that.
We definitely would have fought for that. That's you can't call that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wanted the way y'all wanted, and that was the way it turned out. So, like I said, I don't think I ever told y'all, but that was good shit out there. Y'all all played. Like I said, and that goes back to what I was saying about tournament teams. Y'all put a team together and like not knowing what y'all have each week, y'all came out there and played with what y'all got and and won the game.
Speaking of tournament teams, you actually got a chance to travel this year with the Reckless Villains. Memories of the York tournament a few months ago.
Man, I was scared, man. I thought I was gonna have to play quarterback.
I remember that.
I ain't gonna lie. Before the first game on Saturday, I'm nervous because coach come over to me like, hey, TJ is still playing right now. He's in the county. You know, we play in a few hours. Warm your arm up. And I'm like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I play receiver and DB. Like, I know I can throw it, but like, this is a tournament. This ain't the KFFL, you know. But you know me, I'm an athlete, so I'm gonna go out there and do what my team needs me to do. But man, I'm telling you, right before kickoff, TJ show up, and when I say I was this close to shitting on myself, or I was this close to shitting on myself, and then TJ showed up, and all of it went back into my stomach, man. I was, I felt so relieved, man. But I felt like I could have actually like been a big factor in that tournament if I had got targeted more.
Yeah, you were definitely a baller, man. Like a lot of people Devin Redmond had that comment of Vontae being a better two-way player. Out of here with that, man. Ron Savage, you were a baller this year in KFFL, bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know what Devin is my biggest hater, man. I don't know what it is, bro. Like when I played with Devin, you know, Devin loved me at receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know where he got that from. I understand that's his brother, but let's be real, Vontae do not play defense. And it shows. Like the last game that we just played, I had Vontae on skates the whole game. I just didn't get any targets.
Memories of your final game with Killer Bees.
Memories of my final game with the
very suitable. You end your KFFL career with the team you started with as your opponent.
I was hurt. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was hurt for the simple fact that we shouldn't have even been in that dogfight with them. One, I feel like we are the better team, and we just didn't execute at all, especially on defense. You know, we had a hard time stopping Larry. A lot of blown coverages. You know, one that granted they didn't take every play that they could have had and scored, but the ones that they did score on, they shouldn't even have. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the last play of the game, it hurts. This is what hurts me the most, because the last play of the game, on the pick to Larry in the end zone, TJ tried to force the ball to white boy Wayne, and I was in the back of the end zone in the corner, wide open. Just knew he was gonna see it, because I seen Larry cheat that way. I seen the whole defense flowing towards Wayne, and I felt myself open. I looked back, I was open. I felt like TJ seen me, and the pass that he threw, I seen that he had time, you know, to throw the ball, and I just didn't. I know he was hurt. I just didn't understand why he threw that ball, you know. So yeah, I was hurt. I kind of, if it wasn't for the fact that I have a relationship with a lot of them guys on the Bees, I wouldn't have shook their hand.
Understandable. So now that it's all over, what are your thoughts, man? You had a short career by terms of years, but you did a lot in those 2.5 years that you were playing flag football. You traveled to tournaments. You got to play against top competition. You had a great career looking back at it on terms of the short amount of time you had. But what are your thoughts, man? I mean, you went through this whole experience. I imagine for you, it was probably something you never would have expected in a million years. What are your thoughts on all of it, looking back?
I wish that I'd have started sooner. I wish I'd have played more, you know, games that I missed, you know, just because I didn't want to go, you know, whatever. I wish I'd have played more. I wish I'd opened up in the beginning to the flag football world and got exposed to the game earlier. Um, I know I'm gonna be around, so I'm not gonna miss y'all that much. I'm gonna be around. Y'all gonna see me on the sideline a lot, but I'm gonna miss actually going out there running the route. I'm gonna actually miss lining up against guys that I used to line up against, like DJ, Timmy Privet, uh, Derek Dehaney, and a couple other guys. I'm gonna miss lining up against them guys. So that's about the only thing, but I'm gonna still be around. You guys gonna still see my face. I'm still gonna talk my shit.
I like it, Ron. We're glad to have you as part of the flag football family here in the Ford State. Gonna ask you some questions, rapid fire. Best team you saw while you were playing?
County or 9-man?
All time in 9-man.
I first seen the Dogs. I first seen the Scorpions. I thought they was tough too. But guys that I had, it's kind of favoritism, but guys that I actually played with, I'm gonna go with Showtime ADR.
Gotcha. Favorite teammate?
Ooh, you can't do that to me. I won't answer that question.
Gotcha. Best season you had? What was your favorite season?
I'm gonna have to either go, like I said, I'm gonna either have to go with my first year at Ruckus, or I'm gonna go with my first year at Ruckus.
First year Ruckus, gotcha. One thing you wish you would have done in flag football that you never got to do?
Play more. Oh, never got to do? I mean, nothing that I never got to do. I just wish I had more shine on offense. Got to showcase my skills on offense a lot more.
Gotcha. Trying to think of any questions for Ron. I mean, you had a good career, man. I mean, we're glad we had a chance to see you out there on the field. I think you'll go down. Your legacy ultimately is that you were perhaps one of the most underrated two-way talents in the game. A lot of people outside of Hagerstown don't know your name, and it's a shame because you were out there and you played your ass off. You're one of the better players to come out of the area. And I know you came from Detroit, which I don't think there's much flag football out there, was there?
Nah. I didn't know about flag football until I came out here. Besides, when I was little, now I wasn't able to play tackle football yet. But besides that, no.
Any other thoughts tonight?
No, man. I just wanted to tap in with you guys, show my face one time before I go to bed, and get my thoughts on whatever you was talking about. Until everybody fuck their team, because I ain't got a team, so it's fuck every team.
Ross wants to know what happened to Heady Talk. Is it still on?
Oh, now that I'm retired, that I ain't got nothing but time. Me and Marley, we coming hot. We trying to get some shit together right now. We got Henny and Blunts, and we got Remy for backup just in case. So we're gonna be taking in callers. We might have special guests pop up, but just tune in. It's coming.
Look forward to it, Ron. Look forward to it. Any final thoughts tonight?
Nah, man. You guys just stay safe, man. Wash your hands. Keep the hand sanitizer on you. All right.
Gotcha.
Be safe, man. Seriously. I don't need the league to get shut down because of a positive corona case. I got to be out there. I got to be able to come out there and talk my shit next season.
Look forward to seeing you, Ron. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank all of you for joining us. We'll see you soon, Ron.
All right, man. Y'all have a safe and blessed night, all right?
All right. Ron Savage joining us. It started as a 2020 retrospective, but Ron's interview took up a lot of time. It was a good one. Big shout out to Ron Savage. We're gonna miss having him in the WCFFL as a player, as we are gonna miss as well. As we sign off tonight, we pay tribute to the memory of Pernell Ricks of both the Browns and the X-Dogs. For those of you who don't know, Pernell passed away earlier today. The circumstances of what happened with Pernell, I don't know. We're hoping to learn more soon, but at this time, we will go and turn off the lights in honor of Pernell and his memory. So we have a moment of silence. There's the